When I first stepped into my career as a healthcare professional more than 3 decades ago, I learned that caring for older adults was not just about medicine. It was about seeing each person as a whole, understanding their lives, their challenges, and, most importantly, finding ways to help them thrive in their later years. Over all these years, there's one topic that never stops coming up, and that's vitamin D. It might seem simple, just a vitamin, one among many, but I've witnessed firsthand the remarkable difference the right amount of vitamin D can make in the daily lives of older adults. So today, I want to talk openly and simply about the role of vitamin D, a gentle yet powerful factor in aging well, and something I believe has the potential to change lives, one day at a time. Let's begin with a story, one I remember vividly. There was a gentleman I took care of, named Mr. Harris. He was 80 years old, graceful, with a quick smile. But over time, I noticed that he moved a bit more slowly. He clutched the rail a little tighter going up the stairs, and he seemed just a bit less steady on his feet. We talked for a long time, and he told me, "I just don't feel like myself anymore." It's a phrase I've heard many times, and every time it tugs at my heart. Little did Mr. Harris know, and as many are surprised to learn, that such changes aren't always just a normal part of aging. Sometimes they can be traced to something as basic and as fixable as lower vitamin D levels. Let's start by understanding what vitamin D actually is. Often called the sunshine vitamin, because your body can make it when sunlight touches your skin, vitamin D isn't just a simple nutrient. It acts more like a hormone, reaching almost every corner of the body. Vitamin D helps our bones stay strong. It supports our muscles. It even keeps the immune system working as it should, defending us from all manner of ailments. For older adults, vitamin D becomes even more crucial. As we age, several things happen. Our skin becomes less efficient at converting sunlight into vitamin D. We tend to spend more time indoors, often away from sunlight altogether. And sometimes, the diet changes, making it harder to get enough vitamin D from food. All this adds up, and over time, the body can fall short. Now, why does this matter? Let's think about bones, for instance. Vitamin D works hand in hand with calcium to build and maintain healthy bones. Without enough vitamin D, calcium can't be absorbed properly, and bones can gradually weaken. This increases the risk of osteoporosis, a condition where bones become fragile and more prone to breaking. For an older adult, a simple fall can mean a broken hip or wrist, leading not just to pain, but often to loss of independence. But the story doesn't end there. Vitamin D is also deeply involved in muscle function. Low levels can lead to muscle weakness and pain. I've seen this play out many times. The older adult who suddenly has trouble rising from a chair, shuffling instead of walking, perhaps hesitating on steps. These aren't just annoyances. They steal away confidence, increase the risk of falls, and can even lead to long hospital stays. The immune system, too, draws on vitamin D. Our body's ability to fight off infections, those tricky colds, the dreaded flu, even more serious respiratory problems, is strengthened when vitamin D levels are healthy. For seniors, a simple infection can often be a serious setback, but with the right nutrient support, the body has a better chance to defend itself. Now, perhaps you're wondering, how much vitamin D is enough, and how do you find out if you're getting what you need? Here's where practical advice becomes important. Many experts, myself among them, agree that adults over the age of 65 should ensure they are getting at least 800 to 1,000 international units, IU, of vitamin D per day. Some may need more depending on existing levels, medical conditions, and even where they live. But here's the thing. It's always wise to check with your healthcare provider before making changes, because each person's needs are unique. The next step is to check your vitamin D levels. This is done with a simple blood test. If you haven't had one, ask at your next appointment. It's a small step, but it gives you and your provider valuable information. Once you know your levels, you might be curious about how to get enough. There are 3 main sources: sunlight, food, and supplements. Let's begin with sunlight. Just a little exposure, about 15 minutes on hands and face, is enough for many younger adults when the sun is high. But for older skin, and in climates with long winters, or for those who spend much of their time indoors, sunlight might not provide enough. It's also important to balance sun exposure with skin cancer risks, so always seek advice that's right for you. Food sources of vitamin D are modest but helpful. Fatty fish like salmon, sardines, sunions, and mackerel are among the best. Egg yolks contain small amounts. These days, many foods are fortified with vitamin D: milk, orange juice, cereal. Read the labels when you shop. Even small additions add up. Supplements are a simple, effective way to ensure you meet your needs. They come in pill, liquid, or chewable form. Again, check with your provider for the best type and dose for you. For some, a daily multivitamin is all that's needed. For others, a separate vitamin D supplement is recommended. There's another element too, and that's togetherness. I tell families, talk openly about vitamin D during your next family gathering. Maybe plan meals that include more vitamin D sources. Or go for walks together on sunny days. Good health is not just a solo effort. It's something that grows stronger when we encourage each other. I want to pause and reflect on the lives I've been honored to walk alongside. Take Mrs. Lee, an avid gardener who, after a long winter indoors, struggled with aches and a low mood. Her doctor found her vitamin D levels were low. With care, a gentle supplement, and a bit of sunlight, the improvement was remarkable. Her energy returned, she smiled more, and she was back in the garden by spring. It wasn't a magic cure, but it was a key that unlocked her vitality. There are also the quieter, invisible benefits of vitamin D, ones not always easy to measure. Many older adults tell me they simply feel better when their levels are healthy. Less pain, more confidence, sharper focus, fewer days feeling run down. In this way, vitamin D is an ally working behind the scenes. As you consider your own health or the health of a loved one, I encourage you, don't overlook the simple basics. Small actions, like getting enough vitamin D, prepare the foundation for a longer, stronger, joy-filled life. Let's think practically for a moment about establishing healthy routines. Maybe you could plan a sunny stroll a few times a week, savoring the fresh air and letting your skin bask in gentle sunlight. Perhaps you could try new recipes that include vitamin D-rich foods, or, if your provider recommends, you can set a reminder to take your supplement each day. Tiny habits, done consistently, have the power to change your health over time. Now, a word to caregivers and family members. Sometimes, older loved ones hesitate to mention their aches and pains, or they may quietly shuffle rather than stride confidently. Watch for these subtle signs. Muscle weakness, bone pain, frequent infections, unexplained fatigue. These may be hints that vitamin D is running low. In my practice, when families become partners in health, everyone benefits. And what if your doctor recommends a vitamin D supplement? It's understandable to be cautious. I always advise, ask questions. How much is right for you? Should it be taken with food? How often should your levels be checked? When you find clarity, making room for this simple step is easier than you might think. I've been blessed to see older adults reclaim their energy, strengthen their bones, and improve their balance simply by tending to this one vitamin. It serves as a powerful reminder. Health is built on small, thoughtful choices, carried out day by day with care and love. Let's return to Mr. Harris for a moment. With just a modest daily vitamin D supplement and a few good meals, he grew steadier on his feet. I remember one afternoon, some months later, he greeted me at his door with that easy smile, announcing he'd just spent the morning helping out at his community center. He said, "I feel like myself again." That is the gift of good health, regaining not just years, but joy and purpose in the years you have. Of course, no nutrient can solve every problem. Aging gracefully involves many factors: connection, purpose, movement, nutrition, safety, and a sense of belonging. But vitamin D is a wonderful starting point and an easy place to make a difference. If you or someone you love is concerned about falls, muscle aches, or just feeling not quite right, don't dismiss it as an inevitable part of aging. Ask about vitamin D, talk openly, test and treat if needed. It's a conversation worth having and a problem so often within reach of a solution. In my years of experience, I've seen people rediscover simple pleasures once they regain their strength. Walking in the park, cooking for friends, playing with grandchildren, traveling, helping others. These are the true rewards of health, activities that fill our days with meaning and connection. And for those who feel overwhelmed or unsure where to start, remember, you do not walk this path alone. Healthcare providers, family, friends, we're here to support you as you shape your own version of well-being. As we close, let's recap the essentials in the spirit of encouragement. Vitamin D is vital for strong bones, healthy muscles, and a strong immune system, especially for older adults. Many factors can reduce vitamin D as we age: less sunlight, changes in diet, and less efficient skin production. The signs of low vitamin D are often subtle: tiredness, muscle aches, minor falls, lower mood. But they matter. Safe sun exposure, vitamin D-rich foods, and supplements, guided by your provider, are all effective ways to stay healthy. Regular testing and good communication with your healthcare team empower you to adjust and thrive. If you make one change this week, let it be this: consider your vitamin D. Speak with your provider. Enjoy the sun sensibly, savor new foods, and above all, care for yourself with the same kindness and attention you would offer to a dear friend. Years ago, my patients and I used to say, "Little things can change your life." I have found that so true, especially in aging. Vitamin D is just one little thing, but taken to heart, it can open doors to strength, confidence, and the joy that life, at any age, can bring. So here's my wish for each of you. May you stand tall, walk with confidence, and fill your days with all you love, energized by the simple, quiet power of good health. If you're ever unsure, just remember you have partners in your journey, ready to listen, advise, and walk with you as you step into each new day. Take care of yourselves. Your best years can still be ahead. And often, it starts with something as gentle and life-affirming as a little more sunshine, a little more nourishment, and a little more attention to what your body gently asks for. Vitamin D. If you find this video helpful, please click like, Share it with your loved ones who are entering their golden years. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more gentle and inspiring health videos like this.